Is the dual flame cigar lighter the best lighter for you? Well, let's talk about it. So, why dual flame? Well, it offers double the flames. But all joking aside, it does increase the functionality, and for me personally, I actually do use both of the flames. I enjoy starting off with toasting the foot of the cigar with the torch part of the lighter. So we toast the foot of the cigar in order to try and increase the likelihood of an even burn, as well as making sure that due to the slow increase in temperature, some of those flavors are going to be more readily apparent at the initial light up. And so I use the jet portion of the lighter because it offers me more control over that toasting experience due to the precise nature of having a single flame torch. And so then moving into the puffing part of the cigar lighting process, I enjoy using the soft flame. You know, the reason why is because the soft flame burns at half the temperature of a hard flame. You know, hard flame twice as, anyway, burns at half the temperature. So with a hard flame, you're going to be hovering around that 2300 degrees Fahrenheit mark. And then with the soft flame, you're going to be hovering around that 1100 degree mark. And so with that in mind, you have less likelihood of overheating and burning your cigar. Yeah, something that is meant to be burnt can be overburnt. So let me explain a little bit. Whenever you are initially lighting the cigar, if you are just burning the crap out of the foot of it and then you're puffing on it and just continuing to just breathe and puff and getting all of that heat into the body of the cigar, you can increase the temperature of that internal combustion to where it's just too much for the cigar. It makes for it to be a bitter taste. It drowns out a lot of those flavor notes that you're supposed to have. It can make it to where it's uncomfortable to hold because the body of the cigar is actually warm. It can make it to where the air that you're drawing into your mouth is hot. It's not an enjoyable experience. And so because of that, I enjoy the extra precautions that using a lower temperature flame will afford me whenever doing the puffing aspect of the cigar. And then throughout the actual process of, enjoying the cigar, you can use the torch part to touch up small aspects of the wrapper that are burning unevenly, all that kind of stuff. But for the initial light as well as the initial puff, I do enjoy bouncing between the two different flame functions on this lighter. Beyond the functionality of the lighter, I also appreciate the uniqueness of the dual flame design. I mean, whenever I was first using it in front of my small friend group, several of my friends were like, oh my gosh, that thing is super cool. Where did you get it? How does it work? And so it's something that can, bring attention to you. And if you're a narcissist like me, that's great. Lastly, and kind of gimmicky, I enjoy the fidget function of it. You see, a lot of people already enjoy fidgeting with the Zippo. It has that iconic clink sound. And then on top of that, being able to bounce between a soft flame and dual flame, I don't know, there's just something about it that is unique that I really enjoy. Us men, we enjoy fidgeting and playing with things. So despite having 4 good pros, I can't recommend the insert. The reason why is because of reliability as well as the fact that it is not windproof whatsoever. So first off, let's get into the reliability of it. This is actually my second insert. Yeah, the first one lasted me less than a month. I got maybe a couple weeks into it and noticed that the lighting was a little bit inconsistent, and then by the end of the 3rd week, it was lighting maybe 10% of the time. And that was despite me doing all the right things. I used a Zippo branded butane refill container, had the long stem and everything. I didn't have the flame last longer than 30 seconds whenever using it. I would purge the actual insert itself before refilling it with butane. Did all the right things, still wasn't working. It would consistently spark, but it wasn't actually igniting the butane with the spark. So don't ask me how that happens. That's above my pay grade. But long story short, can't recommend it due to the reliability aspect. And then beyond that, a fly farting could blow the flame out on this. I mean, it's one thing for something, look, even with a jet lighter, it will kind of flicker a little bit, but usually it won't completely blow out on you. This one, even the jet function, will blow out. It's just hard to recommend something that even on the jet function, you can't use outside if there's a slight breeze. You have a hard time if you're, exhaling or whatever, actually being able to light the cigar. If you have a fan going overhead, even if you're indoors, it can make it difficult to light the cigar due to the wind from it. And so because you can only use it in very specific environments and times, it's also hard to recommend from that aspect. And so while I really do appreciate the dual flame design, the fidget factor, the uniqueness of it, I just can't recommend it based off of the poor reliability off of the first insert that I had, and the fact that it's very difficult to use in a lot of the circumstances that you'll be smoking a cigar in. Iconic clink sound, and then on top of... What?
Are you recording?
Yes, Hannah.
Guy, I thought you were editing a video. I'm sorry.
What do you want?
I was seeing if we were leaving for a walk. I really thought you were editing a
I'm
video.
almost done.